What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. So, President Donald Trump makes a major interview. I'm going to give you guys the highlights and details here on a lot of different things, including immigrants, deportations, tariffs, social security plans, and more in this video. Some major details that you need to hear. You'll get to hear directly from President Trump. And we're going to jump right in right now. So let me know if you can see and hear me. We are live. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You can let me know your city, state, or even your country, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globe. Yeah, things are getting crazy here as we are only days away from him coming into the White House. Yeah, so don't forget to hit the like button here. And if you haven't yet, subscribe down below so you don't miss out on future updates. All right, here we go. Take a look at this highlight reel of what President Donald Trump said here, condensed down.
Delve into one of your signature promises on the campaign trail, which was to end inflation, to lower prices. You are now proposing tariffs against the United States' three biggest trading partners. Economists of all stripes say that ultimately consumers pay the price of tariffs.
I don't believe it.
Can you guarantee American families won't pay more?
I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee tomorrow. But I can say that if you look at just pre-COVID, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And I had a lot of tariffs on a lot of different countries, but in particular China. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars, and we had no inflation. In fact, when I handed it over, they didn't have inflation for a year and a half. They went almost 2 years just based on what I had created. And then they created inflation with energy and with spending too much. So I think I'm a big believer in tariffs. I think tariffs are the most beautiful word. I think they're beautiful. It's going to make us rich. We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be subsidizing. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state. We're subsidizing Mexico, and we're subsidizing Canada, and we're subsidizing many countries all over the world. And all I want to do is I want to have a level, fast, but fair playing field.
Let me ask you about another aspect of the economy, sir, the minimum wage. The federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009. There are 20 states that still have the federal minimum wage at $7.25. And I actually have a map. 19 of these states actually voted for you, sir. Mm-hmm. And you can see it right here. I don't know if you remember this, but during the debate in 2020, I asked you if you would raise the minimum wage. You said you would consider it. And so my question for you is, now that you are going back to the White House, for these 19 states that voted for you, are you going to raise the federal minimum wage?
It's a very low number. I will agree. It's a very low number. Let me give you the downside, though. Yeah. In California, they raised it up to a very high number. And your restaurants are going out of business all over the place. The population is shrinking. It's had a very negative impact. But there is a level at which you could do it, absolutely. Yeah.
What is that level?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I can say this. You have a lot of businesses that are open and thriving because of the lower minimum wage. If you raise it too much, and you understand this, if California went crazy, they went crazy. And the restaurants are closing all over. Many more people are hurt.
So I hear you saying, similarly to sort of what you said in 2020, will you consider it? Is this something you're going to look at?
I'd want to speak to the governors. And the other thing that's very complicated about minimum wages is places are so different. Mississippi and Alabama and great places are very different than New York or California. I mean, in terms of the cost of living and other things. So it would be nice to have just a minimum wage for the whole country, but it wouldn't work because you have places where it's very inexpensive to live, where a minimum wage, which is $8 or $9, might have very little effect because the cost of living in certain places is really low.
I'll show more of what he said here in a second, but so some of these are very controversial here because, well, some people are saying that his past tariffs did actually cause some of the inflation that came to follow here and came after when the Biden administration came. And a lot of people are saying that the tariffs that he may or will enact will cause inflation because companies will have to raise their prices or bring manufacturing back to the United States, but that will raise prices as well. As an example, around 97% of clothing is made across seas, overseas, not made in the United States, because it's not economically feasible to be made in the United States where, wages are way, way higher than the United States. If they make that clothing here in the United States, the cost for the clothing would be double or triple. So, do you want to pay triple for clothing, 3 times as much? Or if they have a 10 or 20% tariff, clothing's going to go up by 10 or 20% or 50% or whatever the tariff's going to be. So, it's going to raise costs, which is going to lead to inflation. So, this is going to lead to inflation if he adds tariffs. The other question here is, do you raise minimum wage, which is going to lead to inflation? Now, on the other side of the coin is, do people working at minimum wage need a raise? Now, a lot of people say that nobody's really working for $7.25 anymore because even McDonald's and Walmart is hiring for around $14, $15, $16 an hour, depending on the state. But if they raise minimum wage, and we've seen this in California, costs have been going up through the roof. So if they raise minimum wage, wherever it is, costs are going to go up, aka inflation.
But is it your plan to deport everyone who is here illegally over the next 4 years?
Well, I think you have to do it, and it's a very tough thing to do. But you have to have, you have rules, regulations, laws. They came in illegally. The people that have been treated very unfairly are the people that have been online for 10 years to come into the country. And we're going to make it very easy for people to come in terms of they have to pass the test. They have to be able to tell you what the Statue of Liberty is. They have to tell you a little bit about our country. They have to love our country. They can't come out of prisons. We don't want people that are in for murder. So we had 11,000 and 13,000 different estimates, 13,099 murderers released into our country over the last 3 years. They're walking down the streets. They're walking next to you and your family, and they're very dangerous.
The 13,000.
And Cheney was behind it, and so was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did, honestly, they should go to jail.
So you think Liz Cheney should go to jail?
For what they did.
Everyone on the committee, you think?
I think everybody anybody that voted in favor.
Are you going to direct your FBI director and your attorney general to send them to jail?
No, not at all. I think that they'll have to look at that, but I'm going to focus on drill, baby, drill.
You've tapped Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, to head up this Department of Government Efficiency.
Correct.
Which proposes cuts to the federal government. I think a lot of people hear that and they get concerned about Medicare and Social Security and
Not
Medicaid
going to have anything to do.
and defense spending. You won't touch
theft,
Medicare, Social Security?
Abuse, fraud.
Okay.
No, I said to people, we're not touching Social Security, other than we might make it more efficient, but the people are going to get what they're getting.
Okay, so the entitlements
And
off the table.
And we're not raising ages or any of that stuff.
Okay,
No,
off the table.
I won't do it.
Sir, I don't have to tell you this because you've talked about it. It comes at a time when the country is deeply divided. And now you're going to be leading this country for the next 4 years. For the sake of unifying this country, will you concede the 2020 election and turn the page on that chapter?
No. No, why would I do that? But let me just tell you, when you say the country is deeply divided, I'm not the president. Joe Biden's the president.
But you're going to be the president.
No. I'm not the president. So when you say it's deeply divided, I agree. But Biden's the president, I'm not. And he has been a divider. And you know where he divided it more than anything else, and it probably backfired on him, I think definitely, is weaponization. When he weaponized the Justice Department and he went after his political opponent, me, he went after his political opponent violently because he knew he couldn't beat him. And I think it really was a bad thing. And it really divided our country.
Sir, Democrats have control of the White House now. They didn't in 2020. If they're going around stealing elections. Why
When you
didn't
say
they do it
Democrats
this
have
time?
control now?
Of the White House.
Yeah.
So why didn't they steal this election? Since they have more power now.
Because I think it was too big to rig.
So you won't.
Too big to rig.
To the people who say that you're now directing your Justice Department to investigate 2020,
No,
and they want to move on.
Very capable.
Is that
I think
a
Pam
good
is going to
use
be
of
great.
precious resources?
By the way,
is that what you
just so
want them
know,
to do?
Just so you know, I have the right to do that, but I'm not interested in that.
Oh, you're not. You're not going to do that.
I'm not interested. I have the absolute right. I'm the chief law enforcement officer. You do know that. I'm the president. But I'm not interested in that. You know what I'm interested in? Drilling and getting prices down and stopping people from pouring into our border that come from prisons and mental institutions. I'm going to look at everything. We're going to look at individual cases, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to be acting very quickly.
Within your first 100 days, first day?
First day.
First day.
Yeah, I'm looking first day.
Issue these pardons.
These people have been there, how long is it, 3 or 4 years?
Okay.
You know, by the way, they've been in there for years, and they're in a filthy, disgusting place that shouldn't even be allowed to be open.
Let's talk about abortion, sir. You have taken responsibility for overturning Roe v. Wade. You've said that abortion is now a state issue. There are steps that you could take, though, as president to restrict abortion through executive action without Congress. More than half of abortions in this country are medication abortions. Will you restrict the availability of abortion pills when you're in office?
I'll probably stay with exactly what I've been saying for the last 2 years, and the answer is no.
You commit to that?
Well, I commit. I mean, do things change? I think they change. I hate to go on shows like Joe Biden. I'm not going to give my son a pardon. I will not, under any circumstances, give him a pardon. I watched this, and I always knew he was going to give him a pardon, and sort of, I don't like putting myself in a position like that. So things do change, but I don't think it's going to change at all.
All right, so Trump says he can't guarantee tariffs won't raise U.S. prices. I think a lot of people know that it's going to. He won't rule out revenge prosecutions. I think that is going to be coming. He also says that deportations are coming. What did he say? For everybody who's here that's illegal. Everybody that's here that's illegal. So, wow, that's going to be a big thing. He also said he has no plans to remove Fed Chairman Jerome Powell as Fed Chair. Remember that he initially appointed Jerome Powell as the Fed Chairman. Jerome Powell actually said that he can't be removed as the Fed Chair. Very interesting. Yeah. He also said that he has no plans to what did he say there? To raise the age of Social Security and to cut Social Security or Medicare. Notice he did not mention Medicaid. Now, we've seen things like that in the past, not necessarily singling out Trump here, but things change, okay, as he mentioned there as well. If Social Security doesn't get changed in the next 4 years, that would put us only 4 to 6 years away from Social Security running out of money, as estimates show that Social Security is set to run out of money in as little as 8 to 10 years, as Social Security is slowly running out of money in as little as 8 to 10 years. And if Social Security runs out of money, then it will, by CBO estimates, be a 17 to 20% cut to Social Security recipients' checks if they do nothing. So another 4 years is a big time frame for them to do nothing if they do literally nothing as they did over the last 4 years. So if another 4 years roll by and they do no changes to Social Security, that's going to be yet another big blow to Social Security because it's continually slowly running out of money. So I will keep you up to date. Let me know your thoughts here as we continue to learn more and more about Donald Trump's changes and plans to when he becomes president. So Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share this video with anybody that needs to hear this information. You can click this video here to see how Trump wants to raise Social Security benefits. Or you can click here to see how Trump wants to change SNAP benefits. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.